broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
It's totally 80s. What is up, everybody? It's the 80s edition of American Idol, and I'm going to talk cheesy like this for the rest of the episode. I'm your host, JC Rubio, kicking it down. Okay, I'm done. Welcome to the after show. If you're a big American Idol superfan, well, you've come to the right place. We are passionate. We've just finished watching the show. We cannot wait to break it down with you as well. And this is what, season 14, episode 22. And if you're not watching us live, you should. And if you get a chance, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzz TV. And if you want the audio version, go to iTunes or SoundCloud. And better yet, to keep the conversation going with us, follow me, your host, JC Rubio, at JC Rubio TV on Instagram and Twitter. Joining me tonight in the wonderful panel, who do we have to my left?
Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie Giorgi, and you can follow me on Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi.
And he just came back from the show himself. Go for it, man.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jason Ikeler. You can follow me on Twitter at Jason Ikeler.
And Jason, I know we usually talk about the show, but
yes,
I want to talk about next week already with you.
Kelly Clarkson.
We just lost half of our iTunes fan base.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Why are you so excited, Jason?
Because it's Kelly Clarkson week.
Next week.
And
everybody has to sing a Kelly song, and Kelly's going to mentor and perform, and I'm probably going to die.
And American Idol has to say thank you to Kelly Clarkson because she is everything and did everything for it.
And so does X Factor, The Voice, and Rising Star. You're welcome.
But see, you're still holding out on us. Could there be more?
Then what?
I don't know. Think about it.
Kelly Clarkson, you are going to be in the same building as Kelly Clarkson.
I know.
Should there be a restraining order?
No, there's nothing but love. She knows me because I'm in her fan club.
Yes, and he has her album tattooed on his ankle.
I sure do. No, but it's not creepy. It's like it's admirable.
All right. So first off, before we get to next week, let's talk about this week. Overall thoughts, 80s theme. What did we think besides David Hasselhoff singing 618 songs?
A, that was kind of a nightmare.
No,
B,
it was amazing.
I got to shake his hand, so that made me feel like it was totally worth it.
Okay.
I think this season, because the eliminations are the same night, it's kind of messing with everybody's head.
Why?
Because you don't even know if you're going to get to sing going into the show.
Yeah,
so it's not like you can just be relaxed going into it, like, okay, just let me focus on my performance. Because you're thinking, like, oh, crap, am I even going to be able to perform tonight?
No, I think they always have that.
No, but here's the thing. No, but does that take away from the show? Because usually the very last song, more often than not, throughout the first 13 seasons, was always the best or the biggest number, the one that caused the most heat.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're nervous, like... We'll get into Rave On a little bit later, but I think it's happened more than once when they come up and it's not their best performance. So I think it helps the show end in a whimper.
Especially for the last one, because then you're like, oh my God, you're shaking.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, at this point, they have to know that this is the way that the show goes. Just prepare yourself for it.
Oh, yeah, but it's still hard, because I don't think there's not going to be another position where anybody in their career is going to be like, okay, I'm waiting and I don't know my fate for my career. Mm-hmm. You know?
True. Okay, but I think the best and the biggest part of the show, outside of David Hasselhoff, outside of Ryan, J-Lo, maybe even Kelly Clarkson next week, is we didn't introduce our wonderful man running the ones and twos, Josh, running the bash.
Okay, Josh,
God.
I love you, but you'll never be more important than Kelly Clarkson.
No, but starting with the reflex did warm my heart, so that was beautiful, guys. Thank you.
Fans are awesome, and please.
Acid reflex?
Yeah, that was the reflex.
No.
Not acid reflex, Jason.
That's the name of the techno remix of Duran Duran.
Oh,
It's
my goodness.
acid reflex.
Okay.
We got the chat roll blazing tonight. What's up, guys? Send us your comments. I'll read them out loud. Let us know what you think, your thoughts. But let's get into tonight, or do we have anything else to say besides Boy George?
Oh,
Boy George.
yes.
He was fantastic. I didn't get to say that I thought that Mr. H was great.
Mr. Hasselhoff.
I thought it was
He's
fantastic. I
entertaining.
loved it. I love that Harry Connick
have to
Jr.
pull
said
up my
that
pants.
awesome. He
Got him.
performed like 657 songs tonight. That was great and in record timing. But other than that, no, we can move on to
All
the
right.
little boy who won the first round. Or the
He
first,
won? Really?
No, but he won the first green chair.
He won the first. Okay, our first contestant was Daniel Seavey. Thoughts?
You guys can speak first. I do have
Okay. Really? Okay.
I think Daniel is super talented and a really nice and marketable kid. I just think he gets really nervous.
Okay, the
And
opposite. I'm going to stop you there.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Thanks. Well, because we know where that was going to go. I personally think that he has a little bit too much fun, so it's the opposite of what you're thinking. I think he doesn't look scared. He knows that he has a good voice, but he goes on stage and he's like, God, this is so great. And I think that he does kind of concentrate a little bit too much on his dancing when he does his like little moves. Like Harry said, it's a little bit too choreographed. But if he was like really focused on what he was doing, I think then that he would perform better. I think he's just having a good time. They keep saying have fun, have fun. It's like, well, no, don't have so much fun.
See, but I think I look at him and I think of myself. I laugh and I get giggly when I'm nervous. And I think he's maybe the same way. Like he gets out there and is like, but really it's just nerves. I think also.
Like it's his defense mechanism,
yeah,
maybe?
I think also this is a hard week for him.
Right.
Because I want him to sing young, age appropriate.
I don't
like
even
Hunter
think
Hayes,
his
Taylor
parents
Swift
were
song.
born before this song. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but he's not going anywhere.
No?
He's not. So, Poppy, listen, all you have to do is listen to the advice they are giving you.
Yeah.
They keep giving him advice, and he's not necessarily taking it, but that's what I mean. So, hopefully, if it is
I
the
don't even
nerves or if
think
it
it's
is the
that.
fun, he can
I
calm
think
down.
there's so much. He's so young, and there's so much going on. And
I
there's
know, but
5 different mentors telling him what to do, and there's producers telling him what to do. And if you're only 15, I can imagine if I was in that position, it would get in your head.
Kind of.
Especially, it's not like somebody like Taylor Swift, who was playing bars when she was 14 and gigging. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, he's still had enough performances, I think, to kind of get the gist of things. He's still talented, and like for a kid who said, "I just want to make people happy," I'm pretty sure he's had a good.
Yeah.
He's thought about a lot.
I hope he just does an age-appropriate song.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to be the voice of the fans, and I'm reading, and it's tough. I mean, right now they're saying, yes, he's talented, but he does not deserve to be in the top 9.
Okay, maybe vocally, no. But is marketability a
I
word?
mean, and he's just so entertaining.
Yes? Sure.
He's the whole package. He could go on you know what I mean? He could be picked up by Disney or Nickelodeon.
And actually, in fact, to give a perfect example, in the beginning when they performed with Boy George, Daniel was placed at the end. He's the only one that caught my attention.
Okay.
That's good. But honestly, he has a quality about him that you want to watch. Is he the best vocalist in the competition? No.
Why is it that this is the same? You could go back the last 5 episodes and it seems like we say the same thing.
Because I think it's true.
But okay, so then what can we say or what can be done so that we don't have to repeat ourselves each week?
Listen to the constructive criticism.
And I think it comes down to song choice.
Right,
Also,
that
he's
too.
going through puberty, so it's going to be hard for him to pick choices. But there are songs you can pick that aren't super rangy that
Okay.
he'd be able to do. I think
Maybe
a little
like
bit
a
of breast
Justin Bieber
support.
song
Yeah,
or
Justin Bieber,
something?
like early Justin Bieber.
Okay.
I'm all gung-ho for him doing Taylor Swift. Even like a Michelle Branch song. Something
Okay.
that's not like a wide vocal range.
Or
but,
even maybe like a Jason Mraz.
yeah.
And here
Okay.
we go. Scott Bryan says, and this is what I call the curse of the first. He said the producers put him first, so maybe they're trying to get rid of him now. Remember that? Because usually when they go first, it's that curse of the first.
I think I don't know if I believe all of these conspiracy theories,
Okay.
but I think if I was a producer on this show, I would want to keep the tween talent as much as possible because that's who's active on Twitter, that's who's active on Instagram.
Right.
So I don't think they're trying to get rid of him.
Okay. All right. So moving on, let's move on to Quentin Alexander, my fashion dreamboat.
I thought he did.
I love him.
I thought he did wonderful. JC made a comment during the show that you were a little bit afraid that he was doing too many slow songs. Like you wanted something a little bit more upbeat.
And then Harry said the same thing.
And then Harry said the
Yes!
exact same
That's
thing,
cool.
which was funny because my comment before was that I had never really paid attention to him. So for me, I didn't really focus on what he did before, but I thought tonight's performance was great. And like what they said, he had the cool factor. Like 100.
Yeah.
He was just so dope up there. The way he looked, like every time he turned his head for like a specific note because he was feeling the song, like it was dramatic, it was passionate. It was that was an awesome performance to watch. And it's Phil Collins. Like, I mean, kudos to you. You did Phil Collins on point. But
That's what I thought he made Phil Collins current, which is hard to do because I feel like Phil Collins is a very dated singer. And every time he performs, I just feel like I'm watching an award show.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know,
you're at his
you're
concert.
not watching
Like, he's
American
been
Idol
performing
judging.
for a
You're just
minute.
like, you're just like, oh, I can't wait to see what Quentin's going to do this week.
I agree.
I told you I ran into them a few nights ago, and that's exactly what I told them. I said, you're the concert I'm going to go to. It doesn't matter where if you win this thing or not. He's the one that intrigues me. He draws you
Yeah.
in.
Yes.
It's that mystery, that little 2% of mystery that he leaves you
it's
with.
interesting because we were always worried in the beginning, like, is America going to relate to him? And I would talk to him and Joey both about this last week. I said, are you ever worried, like, to try to get Middle America's votes? And they said, no, we're going to keep doing our own thing, and hopefully America will come around to it, but we're not
Yeah.
going to change. And I think that's so smart because that's how you get a career after the show.
Absolutely.
Here's a question. This is by Joseph Boza. Did 80s night hurt the contestants?
It hurt some of them. I was just gonna say it was. Everyone loves 80s night, and then I was gonna say but it bit some of the contestants in the ass.
Yeah, I agree. I think it did. I think that's why they do the themes, just to
Right.
kind of like put them. It's not supposed to be easy. It's
They
a
make the
competition.
competition a competition, exactly.
Could this 80s night be the new 60s night? Because then they have to do like a Beatles night in the 60s and like old classics.
See, that's hard though because then you get. Remember David Archuleta's performance of Imagine?
I'm trying to remember now.
It's really good, and
Yeah.
I still have it on my iPod. But when they put people through this, a lot of times we get really good moments, like Clark tonight,
Right.
that will be memorable for the show. So I think it sucks sometimes, but then I don't know.
All right, so
I'm being so politically correct.
okay, so let's see what you
You've
do.
all run him over, contestants.
I know.
Jason loves every single one of you.
So did you love Joey Cook's Girls Just Want to Have Fun?
I loved her outfit. I think she looked so cute. You didn't like it?
I didn't
I
like
loved
the
her outfit. It was like
arrangement.
rainbow bright.
She reminded me of.
I loved it. I did.
I was like My Little
I've never
Pony.
been kissed when she goes to her flashback to when the guy throws the egg at her, like when she's
Yeah.
wearing that nasty pink prom dress. I mean, Joey, hers dress was super cute, but yeah, that was
I
very
think
80s for me.
on paper, this is a really good song choice for her. But I think I don't know. There was good moments, but overall, it wasn't. She can do so much better.
It was the arrangement was weird. And
Okay.
it was really, yeah.
Okay, you're saying the arrangement. You're saying she could have done so much better with it.
I don't know. She seemed like she was in her head. I think it was Harry that was saying that.
She was catering to her voice a little bit, and the song is supposed to, like, Cyndi Lauper sings it at a very like hype note, and Joey was still in her register that she's used to, and in fact the part that she would have gone really high, they had to switch it to like a reggae so that she could still stay in a lower register.
Okay, yeah, what was it?
That's what was off.
It started polka-y, then it went reggae, then
you
it
can't
ended
do
like
that with this song.
jazzercise.
Yeah, it was
This is
interesting.
this is a song that's used more than it's you in department stores, in malls, in like people's
I
homes.
wish I knew
like, it's
80s
just
music
everywhere.
more so I could say, like, no, you should have done this song. But I will say I liked In Between. I think she's a good performer, which we've always wondered, can she command the stage? And I think when she's not singing and does like the little kicks and stuff, she surprised me in that aspect with the performance. But vocally, there was just some parts where I was like, it doesn't make sense for the song.
I would have liked her to have maybe done Suzanne Vega, someone like that. It's like do 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 do
Yeah.
do 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 do.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's
absolutely.
80s. It could be
No,
late
I
80s,
mean,
early 90s, but
right.
something just. But last week she also had that slow number as well. So it was just. I think it was one of the fans. I agree with the fan. It was kind of like her first misstep in a few weeks. I mean,
But
she's doing really well.
And at least she took a risk and tried it.
Yeah.
And I think
Yes.
I'm gonna forgive her for this performance just because of how good she did last week.
All right.
And I want to say also that it, like, again, that's why I love these judges, because they always have such good opinions. I do think that she was a little bit distracted on stage also, so that took away from the performance.
Yeah, it seemed
She
like
was just like
something
very
was
happy.
going on.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
I
sorry.
will say. Oh.
No, just to say
okay.
we can go on. But you will say
I was
what?
gonna say when I talked to them tonight, I was asking him like, what advice did Boy George give you? And he said, don't read the comments. And I think all of these kids are in this competition now, and they're starting to get a following. And I was even talking to Kasim about this. Like, people on social media are horrible, And so I think now these kids, like, I think they've got all that in addition to everything. And so I think going through and reading those things, that probably is also, which it's going to happen in the music industry. They have to be prepared for it, but I think learning how to deal with that is hard too.
Do you think human nature, you're going to read those?
Well,
how do they not read them?
It's not that they're, and I'm sure that you don't do it intentionally. I think the issue is that as someone who's being like in the spotlight, you have to be interactive in your Twitter. They have to be on it. They have to be retweeting and favoriting because that's how you get your followers. So it's difficult to just like, I mean, I remember one time I was favoriting things and then I noticed that I was like favoriting some like hater comments towards me and I was like, oh, wait, unfavorite.
But I think the difference too is like with anybody else that gets in the music industry, they like build a following slowly where these kids are thrown into it.
Right.
So I think maybe it's overload.
It is, it's overload. And don't forget that, I mean, people are just, like Zayn Malik said, there's jealous FUCKs out in there.
and right now, I'm glad that you said that. Let us take a moment of silence.
Yes, actually, thank you.
Oh my God, thank you for doing that.
Can I hold both of your hands?
Yeah.
To Zayn Malik, we love you out there. One Direction, you'll do great no matter what. I'm sorry that everyone got to you, but you're
I'm not this happy about this. Zayn, you are nothing without One Direction, and you better go back to the group. Team Harry.
And we pause.
Did what?
Okay, we're back.
Hell?
All right, so we took a moment. Let's move on.
Hold on, baby. Hold on.
No.
No, get out of here. Zayn is everything.
Harry is.
He is, and that's the man of my life. But
Here.
it doesn't
Okay,
matter.
all right. Let's take it up
He's making me fight right now, JC.
Okay, good. I want to feel you passionate, so let's talk about Tiana Jones.
Okay, Tiana is an introverted person, and you can tell that because.
What?
I love when Stephanie G goes off on these rants.
Yes,
because they
because-
usually end up being right.
No, she's introverted.
Like
and
2 out of 10 times.
Anyways,
Settle down.
I say
you
she's
two.
an introverted because she can sing. Her vocals are there. She doesn't move though, and she can be sometimes.
Yeah, do you know what?
forgettable.
I agree. Because when she walked out on the stage today and did that little kick, I'm like, oh, you got this. And then as soon as she started singing, I felt like her body stopped.
It stopped moving. And when I say an introvert, there are a lot of people who are performers who are in the industry who
Like
act
Beyonce.
like they're introverted people. They're quiet, like, but this is their passion. That's how they know
That's
to
their
express
outlet.
themselves. Exactly, it's her only outlet. And I think that she needs to come out a little bit more. Like, she needs to show her personality so that people can remember her outside of her on stage.
Tiana? Okay, tonight I agree. But before that, all her appearances, she was the person that was having fun.
Yeah.
That kept saying that.
I
That's
think after
sweet,
the
but it was
comments from
sweet
last
fun.
week, it got to her.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And well, she told me tonight that there's so many other Whitney Houston songs she would have rather done, but they are all in the 90s. Mm-hmm. So she wanted to do Whitney, but this is like one of the few that are in the 80s because Whitney took off early 90s.
Who cares? Because she killed. I loved the way she did this song tonight.
I think
Really?
Yes,
okay,
and I love
vocally
this
I think
song.
it was good, but I think watching it,
Yeah, it was not good.
I was just
That's
like
my
I
point.
wanted to hug her.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
and thank you. This is perfect. I literally wrote this on this song to ask you this question because I didn't like it vocally and this is 2 weeks in a row, and I'm afraid because I think she has one of the best vocals in the whole competition. But last week and this week, I am concerned, and I wanted to ask you: did it sound different live?
I didn't watch it in the actual
that's right.
room this week,
You were in the
but a
press
lot
room.
of times I know last week with Rayvon there was like, did people like it in the room? It was like chill factor.
What do you mean?
Like in the live audience, everybody got chills, and then I heard.
Oh, okay.
I was watching your show, and you guys didn't think it sounded as good on TV.
Oh.
I think it's just how they mix it.
Right.
So then, I mean, so it's doing them a disservice because the rest of America's watching it on TV.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm concerned about.
I still think she sounded great. Like I said, it was just
Okay.
there's something that was missing because it wasn't.
I felt like she wasn't like comfortable on
think she
stage
wasn't
tonight, and I
comfortable on
think
stage
usually
tonight.
she's so comfortable, and that's part of what's so endearing about her.
Could it be that they're getting actually tired now?
Oh,
Really?
100%.
Yeah.
But also, like, sorry, you have to be able to do
Right.
that.
A boost of like self morale too. So then I guess what you're like the whole Twitter thing is probably what is affecting people. Like they need it.
But that's a
Be
part of
motivated.
But J-Lo said it about a month ago when I forgot which contestant that got booted off. They said they kept complaining they were tired, and J-Lo's like, you know what? It's only going to get crazier. It's only going to
Yeah.
be busier.
Yep.
You're going to have less time, less sleep, and you
Absolutely.
still have to perform. So I think this is where we start weeding out even more people that we thought that were really
Well,
good.
I think it's just true of the entertainment industry in general. Like, yeah, maybe it's not as hard as being a brain doctor,
Right.
but the hours you have to be on, especially if you're on camera, you
Yeah.
have to be
I mean,
you have to be happy and bubbly, and you like nobody wants to hear you say you're tired.
Exactly.
You're on TV. We don't. You know what I mean? Like
people are on
don't feel
TV
bad
for that
for
reason.
you.
They all look good because they're working out. They're putting in the hours to eat well, to get trainers, to do this, to do that, and to wake up very early in the morning to get makeup ready. Like it's hard work. They're not doing anything.
And if you win the show and you make an album, you better believe it. You're gonna do 20 days in a row of being asked the same question.
Yep.
Right.
And you have to act like you're excited to hear it,
and you have to get
be
ready.
on.
You have to put on that smile. Answer it correctly. Don't be rude.
And Idol is a good training for people for the industry because it does prepare you for that aspect of it.
And you got to sing too. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Now, let's move on to Jax. Lovely Jax. What did we think? You give love a bad name. First off, I loved how she looked tonight.
Oh, it was very Coldplay, right?
It was actually, she looked like, here's some, I'm going to blow, if anyone knows this in the chat roll, kudos to you. She looked like this artist from the late 80s. Her name was Jane Child. She had like a mohawk, shaved, it was shaved on the sides, and it just, like the hoops and the hair. I loved her look, but now to the vocals. Did we like it?
She always sounds really nice.
I actually thought the vocals were really good.
Yeah.
I didn't like the arrangement, but I loved how she started. I think exactly what the judges said. I loved how she started. I love how she ended.
Yes.
I think it was a strange arrangement. I almost wish she would have done it a little more unplugged.
Right.
Gosh, I wish Violet was here because I think we're all agreeing. And Violet, Violet isn't. She's out. She's on assignment this week, so
yeah.
We're all agreeing because I love the first half. I mean, the first third. Love the end. The middle lost me as well.
Right.
But here's the thing. What is she gonna do? Is she safe right now? There's a reason I'm asking because she's always like the gambler and.
I think she's safe.
I think she's safe
gonna
too.
be safe?
Because she's the one like where. The second she opens her mouth, she genuinely has a beautiful voice. And it's just a matter of like song choice or the arrangement.
Yeah,
she's
and
gonna
I
do the
think
song
she
with.
still brings us the element of surprise.
Yes.
Yeah, because I still don't know who she is.
I mean, I liked it when she kicked that chair.
Who she is. I think she's
was
kind of.
cool.
Oh, that was really cool.
That was really cool.
I think I almost see her sort of as like a Demi Lovato.
Ooh.
Yes.
Because you know how Demi will like at one second be R&B with dancers, another second be like crazy rocker girl, and then another second be behind the piano.
Damn, but Demi Lovato,
But that's
perfect at it.
But
Yeah,
that's
but I
a
think-
brilliant observation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was like,
I can
where's
see
she
her doing
gonna
that
fit?
too, like falling in that genre.
Yeah, it's pop music, but there's so many. Even how Kelly does pop music, she can do a country pop song, or she can do a dance song, or she can do every amazing song on the planet.
Well, speaking of amazing, and I brought up Violet for a reason because this is her boy, Nick Fradiani. What do we think about Nick? Look, you're already smiling.
I'm smiling because I liked his song choice because that is one of my favorite songs since I was a little
Mine
girl.
too.
One of the only songs in the history of the world that I actually know all the words to. And
That's not a One Direction
That's
song.
not a. Well, I mean, I don't even know all the words to the One Direction songs, but this song is so important to me. I think it was his best performance. However, as far as the performance goes on its own, I think he could have made it a little more climatic. There was parts of the song that he could have sang. I mean, I'm gonna judge the song too much.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it is an iconic song.
It is.
I think I love the song choice. I wish he would have taken it down a key.
I wish he would have taken it down a key. There was a part where he could have slowed down after I'm gonna make a change, and it
Yeah,
in
'cause it needed
between
more of a
Michael would be
build.
like and it feels so good, like, and he rushed it, and then he skipped part of it, like where went straight into summer's disregard, like, and didn't sing the other part. I don't know.
Well, I mean, and the song is like 7 minutes long, and he has a minute and a half to
right,
sing it.
but he didn't. He could have only sang that entire first part.
But I
and it
also
sounded good.
think I think he needs a little help with technique.
Yeah,
Because there are
yes.
moments when I'm like, oh, you have a really strong, solid voice. But then at the end of it, I'm like, it almost sounds, if you're singing, I'm going to get technical, you have to sing from your diaphragm and like breathe it in. He's singing from his throat up.
Yes.
And that's why if you watch, that's why he's making those facial expressions, because there's no air supporting it. And I think if he had the technique, it would sound a lot better. But I think if you don't have the technique, just lower the key.
Right.
He started beautifully.
Yeah.
The tone, it was like he started low, and
Yeah.
there was this rich tone to him, and then
That's my favorite part of his voice.
absolutely, and I shouldn't even say anything. I know I agree 100% with what you're saying. It's when he gets kind of screechy, he loses me. Where people say he kind of sounds like, I don't want to say screechy, he sounds like Daughtry somewhat. Yeah. But he doesn't need to go there.
If you watch his body movement, even he gets on his tiptoes when he goes up high, which is like a sign of no breath support because you're like,
and that you're not using your dive. Exactly.
But I think I do think, especially this week, this was the first time that I was like, he actually has a really good voice.
Yes.
Because I've kind of been on the fence about his performances.
Right.
I think,
my fans.
I don't know, he needs more help with technique, and I think that will make him look more comfortable on the stage, because when he's walking around, I like when he's doing that, but he almost looks like he's like a little unsure of what to do next.
Okay, and that's the point. You know, he is the elder statesman of the whole group, but do you think he's listening to so many people? Because Harry broke it down just right, because yes, I know people are treating you like this heartthrob, but underneath that there is this sweet
humanitarian,
this sweet, gentle person, and let's appreciate his artistry, his heart.
Well, also maybe because he's a solo artist on the show and he's been in a band his whole life. I think he was on America's Got Talent last season in a band. So I think maybe that also changes your performance if you can rely on the guitar player to like, you know, but you're out there on your own.
Okay, so I hope to see him next week, because there's something there. There really is, and hopefully he can find it and we can see it in time. Because because you've got stiff competition, because I think this next guy, he's been great since the beginning. Clark Beckham.
I mean, of course, that would be the song choice for him.
That was a flawless performance.
I mean,
Also, ballsy move to have Boy George and Scott Borchetta say change the key, and then not change the key.
I know.
But it paid off. Like,
hey, you know what? It does, because if he knows what he's comfortable with, then do it. Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of people, they try to take the risk factor, and like Clark is someone who sings well no matter what.
Yeah.
So it was good that he stayed there.
Well, and he's playing the piano, so you have to take into account when you're like, if he's used to playing, I mean, I'm sure it's not that big of an issue for him, but if he's used to playing the piano on the song in a certain key, obviously that changes things up when he moves it down.
Right. Well, that's my point. He was I mean, I don't want to say he was safe about it. He just made sure he's like, okay, well, I have to do that much better because I'm not willing to change it.
Yeah. Well, because it was too high for him, but he hit the high notes flawlessly.
Yeah.
You know, we love him.
He sounded so damn good.
Right. We love him. We gush about him. It is March 25th. Has he peaked too soon?
No. Because
how can he grow? What ceiling can he?
He's so talented. The type of music he's doing, like piano and a good voice, is always going to give you a moment, especially in a show like this. So I think as long as, almost how Gina did last season, where it was like 1 week she did a rock song, then she did a ballad, and then it brought her to the finale. I think as long as he's smart about song choice, I don't think he's peaking too soon.
I agree, because I want to use I was just thinking about that during the entire time of the show, and the only comparison I could make is like, okay, there's a thing that I do where I'm like, oh, should I save this outfit for a better day? And then I got to the point where I was like, no, every time you walk out of the door, look good. You don't save it for another day. Like, you should always look good. So it's the same thing with this music. Like, don't worry about peaking too soon. Make it a good performance every single time.
Clark,
because you can do it.
I know you're watching and listening, and do you hear what Steph's just said?
Every day, look good. That's
your outfit.
That's for me. Okay, but I'm saying
because they do watch.
I understand that, but I'm saying who cares about peaking too soon? Make it a damn good performance every single time. Like, that was good. I'm sure you can do another song better that we'll forget this one, and then we'll remember the last one, and so on and so forth. It'll continue to go that way. So you have to do it. Yeah. I at this point, no one needs to hold back, because if you do, you're gonna kick yourself in the ass.
Well, here's someone that did hold back, I thought, tonight.
Right, he shouldn't have.
Kasim Middleton.
Oh, just kidding.
I thought he held back compared to the last final weeks, where he literally wanted just like to set the stage on fire.
I agree with you.
I thought he was a little more reserved with Addicted to Love.
People are giving us lots of crap on the internet about being fans of Kasim, but I've seen him perform so well, not on TV, that I'm like still to this day, that was 4 months ago, like, no, he can do it. And I think he got stuck in his head tonight, because I think he has been overperforming a lot on the show and like going too much, but I think he held back tonight, and I think this was a song that he could have added a little bit of rasp and a little bit of like vocal tricks on, and I think it almost made it like a bit of a snooze fest. And he's very good. Yeah.
I think he needed to do this.
Me too.
And look, yes, we've talked about Clark's vocals, Ray Vaughn's vocals, and we always give Kasim, like, you know, it's more style over substance. This is the week he gave us a little more of that. Granted, I don't think it was better than Clark's vocally, but I thought it was really good.
Really?
For him. I hate to quantify it like that, because it's going to like.
No, I think it was good also.
Fans are already like saying completely disagreeing with us. But compare him to the last few weeks. Compare what he sang tonight to last week, to the week before. I thought it was miles better vocally.
See, I don't think it was, because I think he did like the minimal effort. I'm sure it was intentional.
But it's a Robert Palmer song.
But I think you still have to bring Kasim to it, and people like him because he does the crazy tricks and techniques.
Well, I haven't forgotten Kasim, so I thought that was good for him today. Thank you. Now you can go back to your performances, because I heard you sing tonight.
And I think the judges said that too. But here's the thing. And here's a great point by Keith. Keith said he wonders if he believes in his own voice, and he would like to see it.
I agree.
So he was saying maybe we're seeing all this flash because he's possibly afraid of being truly vulnerable vocally.
I actually 100% agree with that. I also think the fact that he was in the bottom two for his last few performances is because he like put all of his cards on the table, and you have to be a little strategic. Like, you have to do your best every time, but don't do everything good. And I think he stripped it too far back. And so now I'm kind of lost as to what he's going to do next.
Right, but there's a difference, because what he was doing is what you said, putting all of their tricks.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that choose a song, find the tricks that apply to that song,
exactly.
and then blow it up.
And I think today he chose a song and just sang it. I don't think he did any tricks, and I was missing that because he's so good.
I was just proud that he could listen this time.
Right, and
that's it. I'm like, thank you for not being in your own head and just attempting to give the people what they wanted, and you did.
I felt like he was in his head tonight.
Really?
No. But I'm saying I meant thank you for not being in your head as far as just saying like, nope, I'm going to do what I want, like performing wise.
Being stubborn and not taking correction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the fan.
He was humble to me tonight.
Okay, the chat room completely disagrees with us 100%.
So what do they think?
Let's read a couple of them. Let's see. Well, Scott Bryan did say we did get a cleaner vocal from him. I'll give you that.
Right.
And let's see.
Good. So give it to us, because that's what I'm asking for.
But then here's some other things as well. Shadow number 206. I agree. America was sick of his BS, and the judges wasted the save.
I don't think the judges wasted the save. I think they have a tour they're planning, and he is so entertaining, and he'll be so much fun to see in concert.
Oh, absolutely.
I think he just needs to find his footing in the competition, because I consider him like the male Lady Gaga, kind of. And it's like you just have to find a song that works for you, almost even if he did like You and I or something, where he can like show that he's talented, sing, and then add his riffs, because I think he has the talent to make it. I think he's just trying to figure out his footing in the competition.
All right.
I believe in you, Kasim.
And I'm going to back you up on this one, because I've also said
he just retweeted me, so I feel
I'm giving you a hard time for performances, but what I want to say, maybe this could be the turning point.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it is. That's why I'm saying I'm happy that he did that.
And you never know, because performances check. Now if he can just be still enough grounded.
That's true.
And give us that vocal.
Because I feel like tonight he gave us like a white wall. Now we got to add some decorations to it.
I'm just happy I saw different. Like I said, I'm very happy that I saw a different side of him, because prior to this competition, a friend of mine, Walter Fauntleroy, shout out, he worked with him, and he was telling me, he went on about Kasim, about how he was just so cool, talented, and the type of person that he was. So I was excited to see it until it got clouded by only those pa 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 pa, when it's like, okay, sick. Now find a balance. He might be able to find a balance with what he did. Watch the performance tonight. Watch your last over-exaggerated performance, and then
meet in the middle. I agree.
Together.
Happy medium.
I hate that we're no offense. We're going so long. It should be like the Kasim show. We're really spending a lot of time with him, but
because we like him, and it's frustrating. I think a little bit for us. I mean,
because we want him to do good.
Right.
But here's the thing. Why is it that we're giving him so much grief? Well, in the past, there's been contestants. Am I wrong in maybe bunching him with let's see, Blake Lewis from season 6, I believe.
No, I don't know.
The beatboxer, and we loved him all the way to he was final 2.
I think that subconsciously, Kasim's already kind of won a little bit, to the point where we're just. We need it to be validated amongst everyone else, because he has the potential there.
I think that's what it is we know he can do really good things. So we're just like, oh, you just have to. You're like, it's
like
there.
we're trying to coach. Did you see us? Like, we don't know what to birthday!
Well, okay, now to our final portion of the show, and this is where it was between Rayvon, Adana, and
Maddie.
Yes.
Oh, okay. This is sad now.
Why?
Why? Because baby daddy won?
No, I mean, because like I feel like we're getting to really. I don't know. I've gone soft.
Why? What
I
happened?
like all of them.
Because he knows the two other girls, because he interviewed them, and he just feels bad for them.
Well, here's the thing, but what it, instead of, you got me tongue-tied now. Did the right person stay? That's so without any disservice to the other two competitors, did the right person stay?
Out of all of them?
Out of the three?
Out of the three? Yes.
Okay.
But I don't think Rayvon was actually in the bottom three. I think he was just the last one to get called.
Yes.
Ryan did say.
I think maybe out of the entirety of the contestants, I'm not going to name names, but I don't think the bottom two should have been the bottom two.
Really?
Oh, I could see that. I could see how it could have been someone else, but I think they're fine with the decision.
Since we're not being paid by Fox and it would be a disservice to the fans, I'm going to ask Steffi, who do you possibly think should have possibly replaced the bottom two tonight?
Well, no, not bottom two. I mean, I'm saying Daniel. Someone could have been there instead of Daniel.
What do you mean?
Wait.
Yeah, wait, what do you guys mean?
As you can tell, we're
Wait,
lost.
what's going on right now?
No, we're talking about
What are you asking
in the
me?
bottom two. You disagree with the bottom two? You think there could have been someone else in the bottom two that ended up leaving?
Besides the girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could have been.
I think Adana, week after week, has had killer performances. I think Maddie didn't find her footing in the competition fast enough. But I think Maddie could totally have a country music career. I think Adana, last week, it maybe wasn't her best performance. Which sucks that one performance will determine it for you, but it does.
Well, then who would you think, actually? Because now looking at it, I'm thinking, no, it probably is where it was supposed to be.
I'm going to save both of you because I know you guys are tight with everyone, so I'll answer what the chat roll is saying.
Thank you.
Parksy6919 says Adana had improved so much. She was easily one of my least favorites early, and I think she should have made it at least top 6 or 7. So, okay, so
Maybe.
some varying opinions, but let's get into Rayvon's song to close out this epic 80s episode.
Rayvon. Okay, I think vocally he did pretty well. I think waiting till the last minute on edge, on the edge of your seat, I don't know why I can't talk, got to him, and I think maybe he didn't look as comfortable on the show. Also, I have to say, it's so uncomfortable that they have to sit there and listen to the judges talk before they go on, because when you're watching in the audience, they play that loud in the speaker, and the contestant is just awkwardly standing there on the stage, and Harry be like, I don't know if he can do it this week, we'll see. And then it's like, okay, and sing. Like, that is so uncomfortable. I think Rayvon did really good, and it pisses me off when the judges say they don't know who he is as an artist, because I see him as, like, the male version of, like, Colby Calais meets John Legend.
Yes.
Where Colby Calais is a happy-go-lucky, good girl singer.
Yeah. And
that's how Rayvon is a nice,
marketable and attractive.
And he's a very nice. He's like the guy that you see on the beach with the guitar. Like, and I think that's okay. Like, we can have artists like that. He doesn't have to have an edge to him. If he's a genuinely good person, sell that.
I think he kind of has a little bit of an edge now. Now that like more weeks have gone by, before I didn't really see it, but I think his edge is just.
He's totally Steffi's type. In case you're wondering.
Anyway,
I can tell you about the men she's been with.
All right, let's move on. Actually, we answered everything I had questions about, like if this was the right way to end the show. Is this a disservice to the show where you're throwing them up? And to me,
yes and no, because the show you're on the edge of your seat the whole time now, so it does make it more exciting.
it's good for us.
Yeah.
It's tough for the competitors.
Right.
But I want to say, Rayvon, I want you to do a Colby Calais or a John Legend song.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant.
And dedicated to me.
Or me.
All right. So overall, closing out the show before we move on to news and gossip and predictions, did we love it?
I liked it. I'm really happy with the top 9. I'm excited for these other performances. We'll see. I think Kelly Clarkson will bring everyone justice.
Oh,
she
yes.
brings it, she brings out
we
the
have
rock
to
and
say,
roll in
she
everyone.
knows, she's coached on duets, she's mentored on The Voice. She knows what she's doing.
She does. I mean, she's written so many songs for so many people. She's written songs for One Direction.
Yep.
Like, get out of here. You guys are so lucky. Just wait for it.
Okay, now fans.
Kelly Clarkson.
Now I missed it because I was disorganized today. What's going on with the Twitter save? What's going on next week?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
But I'm assuming it's going to be like The Voice, where they'll probably pick the bottom 2 based on votes.
Right.
And then you can live save one of them.
Ooh.
But I don't know how that's going to work unless they do it like The Voice,
East
because
Coast?
West Coast doesn't have a say, which kind of
right.
sucks. But
all right.
it's a dog-eat-dog world out there.
Do we have any news and gossip today?
I know Jennifer Hudson is going to perform on the show.
Oh, wow, nice. Hell yeah.
Coming up.
God, I haven't heard that beautiful voice in a minute.
While you think, fans, let us know who you think is going home on the chat roll. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say interviews with all of the contestants will be up tomorrow or Friday, probably.
Ooh, definitely.
And the eliminated contestants.
Any moments tonight when you talk to the contestants? Any little...
Oh, God, please tell him what Mr.
David Hasselhoff shook my hand and said, "Nice to meet you, buddy."
But that was it.
That was your highlight?
That was the
I
highlight
thought
of
it
my
was
life.
so funny because he would. Like, what an amazing character
I
he is.
actually will say that. They're all singing Kelly Clarkson songs. That's gonna be good. But Joey fangirled over Boy George, and I think it's so adorable.
Oh, yes, I know.
And Joey
He
and
loved
Quentin
it.
are like best friends now.
I know, that's the best.
They call
He's-
themselves Team Quark.
Oh, I love them. They're so cute together. But again, this is, I think, the reason why I love this show also. I really love to see the dynamic of the contestants. To see
I know, and I think that's why, 'cause we're, like,
Rayvon
drawn
and
to
Daniel
them.
are like homies. They're
Yep.
like, he looks out for him like a little brother, and I appreciate that. And Daniel looks up to him like a big bro, so that's really cool. And I think that it's nice to see them learn from each other.
So you guys are emotionally invested. I love
I'm
it.
totally.
emotional, absolutely.
100%.
I mean, I haven't interviewed them, but I feel like some of them would definitely be best friends with me. I'm just saying.
So let's move on to predictions. Spooky music. Of course.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
Who is your favorite?
Oh, okay.
We start with our favorite. Always with our favorite.
Okay, favorite of the night?
Clark.
Favorite of the night was definitely Clark.
Yes.
Really?
Clark was
Yeah.
great.
So predictable. I'm going to go David Hasselhoff. Okay, fine.
Not salt and pepper?
Okay, fine. No, Clark. Okay, who's going home? I'm going to read off some of the fans. These are the fan predictions. Our own J-Lo. Let's see, what has she said? Daniel. Let's see. Who
That's
else?
what she thinks is going home?
Yes, Ryder Mohan. Let's see. Says Daniel, but probably Kasim or Nick. Let's see. Everyone.
I kind of agree with that.
I kind of agree with that also.
What's that? We're saying Kasim and Nick.
Yeah, Daniel first. I mean, I doubt that because, I mean, sorry, America. We all know the girls run the run.
Who run the world? Girls.
You can't mess up your own tag, Steph. Come on.
Well, anyways, my point is that we know how that works.
Okay.
So if he is not voted off, then I do think that it falls down to either Nick or Kasim.
We have a fan, Joseph Boza says, hope it isn't Clark or Nick.
I would be in
Shout out
shock
to Joseph
if it
Boza,
was
'cause
We
Clark.
will
always
not
roll
come
with us.
we will not do a show if Clark's eliminated next
Well,
week.
actually, next week we're dedicating the whole
yeah.
show to just talking about Kelly Clarkson songs on American Idol.
Yes.
Hope you'll join in.
And actually, stay tuned because Jason and I are working on a duet that we're doing, a cover of Kelly Clarkson's song, and I think you guys will really
Yeah, you're
enjoy
gonna
it.
love
You know you're going to have to do that next week. So, okay,
Yeah.
let's get out of here. So, hey, all right, guys, thanks for watching.
Yeah, of
and a
course.
quick reminder, if you haven't subscribed, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. There you can see our wonderful library of over 400 of your favorite hit TV shows, or go to, iTunes and SoundCloud. You guys stop hugging. Jason, where can they find you?
Oh, funny that you ask. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Vine, and Snapchat at Jason Ikeler.
You can find me at all 3 different names. The first one being Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi, Instagram at SteffiG47, and on Snapchat at Georgie_XD.
Wow. And Josh, thank you once again, manning the ones and twos. Where can they find you, buddy?
You can always find me on Twitter at Radio TFB. Thank you, JC.
Welcome, man. And you can find me at JC Rubio TV on Instagram and Twitter. So for Josh, the lovely Stephanie, and the double lovely Jason,
thank you.
I'm JC. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Toodles.
Executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.